message. More tip options are available at cityofelgin.org/crime tip. On Cyber Monday, Amazon donated a combined $100,000 to local food banks, including the Northern Illinois Food Bank, helping provide meals to families struggling during the holidays. The donation was presented at Amazon's Chicago facility, where workers continue to fulfill a surge of online orders. Amazon has also hired hundreds of seasonal employees, some of whom may become permanent. Oak Brook police rescued a driver from a car engulfed in flames following a high-speed crash early Sunday morning. Officers spotted the vehicle speeding without lights before it rolled over on eastbound I-88. They used extinguishers and crawled under the overturned car to extricate the driver. The man and two officers suffered minor injuries and were released from the hospital. Police Chief Brian Straucus praised their heroic actions, saying they saved a life. The crash is under investigation and no charges have been announced. President Donald Trump announced 9 major drug makers will lower prescription prices in the U.S. under a new deal. The companies agreed to match prices charged in other developed countries, a move the administration says could save taxpayers and help uninsured patients. NORAD is once again tracking Santa's Christmas Eve journey around the world. The 70-year holiday tradition uses radar, satellites, and jet escorts, with more than 1,000 volunteers answering calls and helping families follow Santa online in 9 languages. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Hot Hands. On Cyber Monday, Amazon donated a combined $100,000 to local food banks, including the Northern Illinois Food Bank, helping provide meals to families struggling during the holidays. The donation was presented at Amazon's Chicago facility, where workers continue to fulfill a surge of online orders. Amazon has also hired hundreds of seasonal employees, some of whom may become permanent. Oak Brook police rescued a driver from a car engulfed in flames following a high-speed crash early Sunday morning. Officers spotted the vehicle speeding without lights before it rolled over on eastbound I-88. They used extinguishers and crawled under the overturned car to extricate the driver. The man and two officers suffered minor injuries and were released from the hospital. Police Chief Brian Straucus praised their heroic actions, saying they saved a life. The crash is under investigation and no charges have been announced. President Donald Trump announced 9 major drug makers will lower prescription prices in the U.S. under a new deal. The companies agreed to match prices charged in other.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 29. Tomorrow, patchy fog with a slight chance of drizzle in the afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 42, and temperatures falling to around 40. Looking ahead to Wednesday night, rain and drizzle likely with patchy fog and a low around 35. Currently, it is 40 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome in to another edition of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And since I am flying solo this evening, I figure I'd have a little bit of fun. But before I get into all of the fun, don't forget to tune in to tomorrow's morning show with Susie C. and Elliot, the L Train Serrano, bringing you the best Christmas gifts, merriment, and mirth from 6 to 9 a.m. And since it is Wednesday and keeping up with the tradition of Weird Wednesday, and since it is Christmas time, it's the Christmas edition of What is Your Weirdest Christmas Gift That You Have Received or Given, really. So go to the WRMN Facebook page, check it out, go on, text in, be a part of the show, tune into them, as you're having your wake up coffee or whatever it is that you do to get ready for the day, get ready to deal with family and friends, or whatever it is that you end up doing for Christmas Eve and or Christmas Day. So do that. And as always, you could see my lovely, gorgeous, tired face on YouTube at WRMN Radio. And if you want to be a part of this segment or this show, feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. And happy Festivus, everyone. You're like, what? What are we talking about? Festivus. Yes. Well, it's really something that popped up on Seinfeld back in 1997, but I keep on hearing this, and I figured, why not have some fun with it? Because I like to have some fun here on Big Top Sports. And my initial issues and everything with Festivus. First, I'll give you a little, break of it. So Festivus is a secular holiday celebrated on December 23rd as an anti-commercial alternative to Christmas, popularized by a 1997 Seinfeld episode, but based on a real family tradition started by writer Dan O'Keefe's father. Celebrations involve an unadorned aluminum pole, a dinner, the airing of grievances, quote unquote. You can't see me do the air quote here. Complaining about the year's disappointments and feats of strength. Well, that's the whole, I think that's the Seinfeld, but and it also has the motto, a festivus. Hold on, take two. A festivus for the rest of us. But I'm going to put my own spin on it. And I decided to go back quite some time, 10 years to be exact, to air my festivus grievances. Sports edition here on Big Top Sports. You could take the kid out of the candy shop, but you can't take the kid out of the candy out of the kid. And if you did, well, it's going to be very disgusting once he gets that out of his mouth. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys, on the YouTube. Brendan, as always, Jeff as well, Jeff's Train World chiming in. So thank you for watching. And, well, I mean, what better team to start this sports festivus? Don't worry, I will get to the Chicago Bears, but I want to have a little fun. I want to have a lot of fun on this Hump Day! Oh, wait. Early. Smurf. Any hootie. So, since it is December 23rd and it is Festivus, might as well get cracking. And the first team that I have my sights set on. the Chicago Bulls. The unbelievable Bulls. Okay, so since it is 2025 and I am doing a 10-year flashback, the last time, or actually not the last time, so in the last 10 years, I'm looking for, so it goes from 2024 to the year, well, this year, 2025, all the way back to 2015, 2016. I wanted to see how many times the Chicago Bulls have made the playoffs. And in that time, they made it in 2016, 2017 season with a record of 41-41. They made it in 21-22 with the record of 46-36 and lost in the first round. And, well, that's it. So 2 years in the last 10 with the Bulls actually making it into the playoffs. We're not talking the play-in tourney, but actually making it into the playoffs was 2021 and 2022. So missed the playoffs 8 of the last 10 years. Ooh, doggy. Now, I know, and I know that there are a lot of Bulls fans in the area, or a lot of Bulls fans that like basketball, because I mean, hey, why not? The 90s Jordan eras, the 2 3-peats in 8 years, all good stuff, right? Yeah, well, that's, I mean, aside from the Derrick Rose years when it looked like they were, they looked like they were good until Derrick's knee got nuked. But the thing that really kills me is that as faithful, and this is why I am bringing up, and I know that there are a lot of Chicago Bulls fans in the Chicagoland area, is because the Chicago Bulls are consistently ranked among the top teams in attendance in the NBA. So with over 8 million spectators in the 2010s and averaging around 20,000 plus fans per game. I mean, and it's still going. It is still going. And it's, to me, it's just astonishing that the amount of fans that go into the United Center and support the Chicago Bulls on a year in, year out basis. And two teams in the last 10 years have made, the playoffs. Doesn't exactly bode well for the construction of the team. The John Paxson years, the Arturas Kornišovis years. And while they are currently having a better run of games over the last couple of games, if you will, I mean, they're facing off against the Atlanta Hawks in a home back-to-back matchup down there in Atlanta. Hotlanta, or probably a little bit colder, given the time of year that it is right now. But yeah, dispatching the Cleveland Cavaliers on back-to-back games, home and home, where they beat them on Wednesday last week, December 17th, 127-111, and then followed it up by beating them again on Friday in Cleveland, 136-125 on Friday. And then, putting a total of 300 combined points together on this past Sunday, which was the 21st, against the Atlanta Hawks, 152-150. I mean, talk about defense being played. There was no defense being played that game. So I'm kind of thinking that it will be a little bit more of the same tonight when the Bulls are down at Hotlanta taking on the Atlanta Hawks tonight as well. But currently, as the Bulls are mid-season, or not really mid-season, they're 28 games in. Their record is 13-15, 2 games under 500 currently. And the more that things change, well, the more they stay the same for the Chicago Bulls and, the front office and getting players and everything, because need superstars to come in here. And I'm not exactly sure if the Chicago Bulls have any current superstars. At one point, Vooch might have been. He sure as hell could make a strong case for going into the Hall. Put him in the Hall! Put him in the Hall of Fame! Yes, he will most likely be going to the Hall of Fame. But with that being said, not so much. I see you, caller. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and I will get to you after these messages. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a few.
Kick off your weekend with a little flair. It's Dino's Night Out, every Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM. Dino brings you the best of the Fox Valley's entertainment scene. Live music, local artists, street festivals, great eats, and the personalities behind them. If it's happening, Dino's talking about it. And bringing the spotlight is none other than the legendary Arcada Theater, located at 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. Catch dinner, drinks, and a show, all under one historic roof. So whether you're making plans or just love to know what's hot, make it a date with Dino's Night Out. Fridays, 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM. Or stream it live at WRMN1410.com. Dino's Night Out, powered by the Arcada Theater, where Fox Valley comes to play.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Hey Bears fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be a part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today at 847-741-7700 and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears on WRMN AM 1410.
Firearms are the #1 cause of death among kids, but we know that healthcare workers can make a huge difference. This is why prevention is absolutely critical. It starts with listening to the community, leaning in on those conversations to better inform what is the approach that you want to take. You are the champions for change. You can be the catalyst for integrating firearm injury prevention strategies into your practice and really benefiting your community. Let's agree to agree that we all have a role to play in ending this crisis.
Kids today live in a world full of social pressure, bullying, and substance abuse. LEAD has a solution. LEAD connects law enforcement agencies with schools to deliver tested, proven, and effective anti-drugs and violence training to kids. Learn more about LEAD, Law Enforcement Against Drugs and Violence, and our work to create safer, healthier communities at leadrugs.org or on social media at We Are LEAD. Sponsored by LEAD, Inc.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports Festivus edition here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. So I was just talking about the Chicago Bulls and their last 10 years. I mean, putting together teams that really don't move the needle, if you will. I mean, considering the fact that, the last 10 years have not been so great. Only 2 playoff appearances in the last 10 years. Missing the playoffs via the play-in game the last 3 years. And with them currently sitting in, I believe it is 10th in the league. It doesn't matter. Go look it up. You've got internet. The next team that I want to be talking about is the Chicago White Sox. Yes. And I feel like I am capable of talking about the Chicago White Sox. And once spring training commences in late February and early March, you will be hearing some of those Chicago White Sox preseason games here on WRMN 1410 AM. But more importantly, you could hear Sunday night's game, the game of the night. Sunday night football between the Chicago Bears flying out west to take on the San Francisco 49ers in that Sunday night matchup, which means pregame show will start at around 5 p.m. And then stay tuned for the game that'll probably kick off around 7:15, 7:20-ish. And then stick around on these very airwaves, WRMN 1410 AM, for post-game reactions to the Bears and the 49ers matchup. So, over the course of the last 10 years or so, I mean, the Chicago White Sox have ranked, since I did the same ranking with the Chicago Bulls, about, and I'm talking about attendance right now. So the Chicago White Sox, going back to 2015, have basically ranked mid to lower tier for attendance. Sometimes better, sometimes worse, but generally anywhere in between 17,000 to 25,000 fans per game. And considering the fact that the White Sox seating capacity at Guaranteed Rate Field, home of your Chicago White Sox, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,615. Well, that's not really, it's not really good attendance, right? I think we could agree on that. Unless you have marquee teams coming in and then you're paying marquee ticket prices, more times than not, if you are a Minnesota Twins fan, you are a Detroit Tiger fan, yeah, that'll kind of like move the needle. If you are a Cleveland Guardians fan, of course, the interdivision rivalry and everything, you'll get like the spike in attendance. And always when the New York Yankees or the Red Sox or, especially the Chicago Cubs come in. Oh, and don't let me not forget about the Savannah Bananas. Oh, wait. They are playing Savannah ball. They are not in Major League Baseball. But for those couple of games that the Savannah Bananas came in, they packed the house. Fans were coming in from far and wide to, take in a part of Banana Ball. Just simple as that. When you have a good product and you are able to spike that attendance, right? When you have people in charge that are capable of scouting, drafting, developing, and ushering the new talent in to an organization, it bodes well for years to come. Not the past 3 years of 100-loss baseball. I digress, because even though the Chicago White Sox lost 100 games last season, there were bright spots. And it is starting to look like that this season, the bus or the aircraft carrier or the cargo ship is starting to be turned around. And with that being said, we all know it's a process. A rebuild is a process. I don't think we necessarily heard those years or that particular parlance over the last few years. Or maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Or maybe it's just the fact that, I'm putting my fingers in my ears and, I refuse to hear it. Just for the simple fact that, as a fan, and while I am admittedly a Chicago Cubs fan, I want the Chicago White Sox to do better. I want them to get better. It is entertaining for everyone when the White Sox are good during summer, because you have that back and forth between White Sox fans and Cubs fans. You suck. No, you suck. You suck. Or, the games that are being played between teams, it matters more. And it's just when you have a guy like Benintendi being your highest signed free agent over the course of the last 5 years, 6 years, or whatever it was, I get it. You don't necessarily get like the top-notch free agency or free agents that you want. But when you're going out there and kind of making it a joke, like you're not going to be in the market for Shohei Ohtani, it's not necessarily a good thing and a good message that you're putting out to fans. Not that he would have came here anyway, but I digress. Hey, you're currently listening to Big Top Sports. Derrick Geyer on 1410 WRMN.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Starbucks. Elgin police are investigating an early Sunday morning shooting. Officers were called to Sherman Hospital around 3:20 a.m. after a woman arrived with what appeared to be a grazed wound from a gunshot. Police have not yet determined where the shooting occurred, and no other victims have been found. Investigators are asking anyone with information to call 847-289-2600 or text 847-411 with Elgin PD at the beginning of your message. More tip options are available at cityofelgin.org/crime tip. On Cyber Monday, Amazon donated a combined $100,000 to local food banks, including the Northern Illinois Food Bank, helping provide meals to families struggling during the holidays. The donation was presented at Amazon's Chicago facility, where workers continue to fulfill a surge of online orders. Amazon has also hired hundreds of seasonal employees, some of whom may become permanent. Oak Brook police rescued a driver from a car engulfed in flames following a high-speed crash early Sunday morning. Officers spotted the vehicle speeding without lights before it rolled over on eastbound I-88. They used extinguishers and crawled under the overturned car to extricate the driver. The man and two officers suffered minor injuries and were released from the hospital. Police Chief Brian Straucus praised their heroic actions, saying they saved a life. The crash is under investigation and no charges have been announced. President Donald Trump announced 9 major drug makers will lower prescription prices in the U.S. under a new deal. The companies agreed to match prices charged in other developed countries, a move the administration says could save taxpayers and help uninsured patients. NORAD is once again tracking Santa's Christmas Eve journey around the world. The 70-year holiday tradition uses radar, satellites, and jet escorts, with more than 1,000 volunteers answering calls and helping families follow Santa online in 9 languages. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has 2 convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 29. Looking ahead to Wednesday, patchy fog with a slight chance of drizzle in the afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 42. Rain likely Wednesday night with patchy fog, cloudy with a low around 35. Currently, it is 39 and partly cloudy. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized Cash Rewards or unlimited Cash Rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
sports, your thrilling ride. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And thank you for joining me. And I hope everyone's getting their Christmas presents all wrapped up, all, concluding their shopping and everything. I was a little shocked earlier today when I was out here driving around on these streets, and my goodness, it seemed like it was, it seemed like it was rush hour all damn day today because, man, my goodness, a lot of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. And then I was like, why is there so much traffic? Oh, yeah, because it's Christmas week. People are off of work. People are doing their last minute Christmas shopping. And yeah, but thank you for tuning in to Big Top Sports here in WRMN 1410 AM with myself, and you are currently going to be listening to the Festivus Sports Edition of Big Top Sports. So I was, before we went to the bottom of the hour break, I'm talking about the Chicago White Sox, and why wouldn't I be? Because, for you fans out there, you Chicago White Sox fans out there, and for every, baseball fan in the Chicagoland area that just wants competitive product on both sides of town, north and south sides of town. Did a little bit of research during the break and come to find that, well, it would help if management would maybe spend a little bit more money on talent. But that is not to say that, well, if they did try spending money on talent, that the talent did not necessarily want to come here to be a part of the Chicago White Sox. Because for the longest of time, the knock on the Chicago White Sox is that they have an antiquated front office and ownership. I'm sorry, Jerry. It's just, I didn't, it comes up, articles come up, and then also being like loyal to a fault with their long tenured employees. They're being past their effectiveness and everything. Tony the Tiger, Tony the Tiger. I'm not going to say, well, you know what? Tony La Russa. In a day and age when there were better managers suited for this job and the team was primed for winning, that's the dude that you go out and hire because you had some past issues and past, you're making recompense, for things that happened, 2 decades ago. Okay, cool. But you also squandered that 2 or 3 year period window where the team was good. Then you also have the lack of investment. Well, you basically, the top tier talent The never signing a player to a contract over $100 million in 2021. You cut corners in free agency that could have helped boost the talent which you had. Then there's the poor player development and scouting. Oof. I mean, it certainly looks like things have turned the corner or starting to change. Finally, things are starting to change on the South Side. You know, there's exciting talent. Even though the Chicago White Sox lost over 100 games last season, they've got exciting new talent that is here, which made watching, quite honestly, the last couple of years of Dog Smurf games kind of unbearable, really. But that has, turned around over the course of last year. Because why not bring up the younger kids if the core roster is not going to be performing at a high level? Oh, and then what about the whole red ass Lance Lynn and the toxic clubhouses that there were? I mean, it just, this is all stuff. There was no camaraderie. And I don't know anyone out there. I mean, it's baseball, right? It's a kid's game. It's supposed to be a kid's game. You get paid very well to play a kid's game. And that's the kind of smurf that you're going into, where it's like, oh man, I had jobs. I'm sure we've all had jobs where we did not like going into. But when you're supposed to be playing as one cohesive unit, if you will, and I know guys don't get along and players don't get along, but yet it seeps out, and then there's like the fractions, and then there's the cliques, and yeah. And I mean, you don't have to look very far to, a Major League Baseball setting record in losses back to 2024, which included a 21-game losing streak. But, there were significant injuries during that time period. But yet, at the same time, give us more. Give the fans that are diehards more. Don't do this stuff. And Bulls fans, going back to, the last half hour, if you want to really see a jump in players, the quality of players, and I know that this might hurt your being to your core because you are so dedicated and you are so loyal to the Chicago Bulls and what they have, or what the memory of the Chicago Bulls used to be, and you are fantasizing about what could potentially be. Stop going to games. Or at least, no, I think it's just that simple. Just stop going to games. Because as soon as they realize that they're not in top 5 of attendance, and I think they were, top 1 or 2 over the course of the last 3 years, and you all know last 3 years, playing tournament, getting your asses whipped, or the players getting their asses whipped by the Miami Heat. Enough is enough is enough. And you keep on hearing things, from the front offices. Oh yeah, we're trying to turn it around. We're trying to bring in players. I enjoy Josh Giddey. I enjoy Matas Buzelis. But at the same time, maybe they can develop into superstars. From my layman's eyes and my fan perspective, I don't see superstardom just yet. Plain and simple. I do not see that going in that direction. And while the needle is pointing up, or maybe a little bit further up for the Chicago White Sox, because, okay, new coaching staff, done it, new players or young, talented players that actually seem to be thriving, chomping at the bit, if you will, at the opportunity that they have, because they're just hungry and they want to make the show. Show being the big league, the big club, yes. And it's just, it's very, very hard to be excited about a team that doesn't want to invest. Although it seems to be turning a corner. You might have a new owner by the time, 2034 comes around, and Justin Ishbia, because, those are the rumors, but, Jerry could decide not to sell to Justin Ishbia until then. And that's another 9 years down the road, right? So we shall see. But, hey, first time in a long time the Chicago White Sox got that number one draft pick. I think they've only had 2 in the last 25 years. We'll see what they do with it. Maybe they go after that young, hot prospect shortstop. But, who's to say? Because over the last few drafts and everything, it seems like they've been prioritizing pitching. Well, 2 down, 2 to go. I will be talking about the Chicago Blackhawks next. You are currently listening to Sports Festivus here on Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a few.
Welcome to downtown Elgin, where businesses, community, and creativity come together. The Downtown Neighborhood Association provides valuable, complimentary services to all downtown businesses, organizations, property owners, and residents, helping you gain exposure and thrive. Whether you're already part of the district or exploring a new downtown location, DNA is here to help your vision grow. Join us in creating a vibrant, connected, and successful downtown Elgin. Call now 847-488-1456, or you can email info@downtownelgin.com. As for Jennifer Facala, Downtown Neighborhood Association, where the heart of business beats strong.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Want to know what the shepherds did after they visited the Christ child? Read the short novel, The Good Shepherds, Christmas combat story by Michael Tooman. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. Check out Michael Tooman's webpage at Silink.net. That is PSYLINK.net. Papa Sierra Yankee, Lima India November Kilo. November Echo Tango.
Hi, this is Sherry Aschenbrenner, Vice President of Dementia Friendly Elgin Area. Everyone knows somebody living with dementia. Caregivers and friends of those with dementia are always welcome at our Elgin Area Memory Cafe, always the second Tuesday of every month at 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the South Elgin Public Works Building, 1000 Bowes Road in South Elgin. Also, Dementia Friendly Elgin Area gives free 20-minute dementia awareness trainings to local businesses, church groups, to bunco groups. Just invite us. If you'd like to get put on Sherry's senior email blast list, please email us at dfelist@gmail.com. Also, you can go and visit our website at dementiafriendlyelginarea.org.
Tune in to Sherry's Senior Moments radio show on the second Thursday of each month at 9:05 a.m. until 10 a.m. on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN Radio app, or WRMN Radio on YouTube. That's Sherry's Senior Moments, providing resources and information for our seniors in the community.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And the first half hour, well, first hour or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, is going to be the festivus for the rest of us. Sporting edition here on Big Top Sports. So, already talked about the White Sox, talked about the Bulls. Why don't we get into the Chicago Blackhawks? That is right, the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, I mean, let's see. Out of the four major groups, I was going to say well, that's not true because if I go back 10 years, there are two teams in the Chicagoland area that have actually won the championship. And I can't believe that it's already going to be 10 years next year with the Cubs. But, 10 years ago, the Chicago Blackhawks won their third and hopefully not final Stanley Cup, just for the simple fact that, it's been rough over the last few years. That has, that's damn straight. So, okay. So going back for the Festivus Sporting Edition. I mean, how can you not be happy with the Chicago Blackhawks? Although, let's just go back to 2020, 2021, but especially 22 to 23, where the Chicago Blackhawks have ranked 20th in attendance. But during their heyday, after their 3 Stanley Cups, the Chicago Blackhawks have ranked first from 2014 to 2020 in attendance, first in the league, averaging going from 2014 to 15 all the way up to 2019, 20, averaging over 21,000 each and every year with a little dip in 2019, 2020. But then you have the COVID season of 2020 and 2021. And then, coming out of that, losing some players, losing some key players. And then even still, when the Chicago Blackhawks were ranked 20th in attendance in 2022, 2023, man, you guys still absolutely loved your Chicago Blackhawks. And it was 20th in the league with a total of 17,167 patrons going to take in games. And they were absolutely abysmal. I think that's a stronger word than maybe dog smurf, but they were absolutely abysmal. And then what happens in 23, 24? Oh, a certain name by Sir Connor Bedard was drafted and attendance spiked. And it had spiked yet again last season, excuse me. I think I'm starting to get the hiccups. It surged to over 19,130 attendees on average, which ranked third in all of the NHL. And even this year has, it saw the start of the Chicago Blackhawks getting better, right? Getting a little bit better. But then you have, well, most notably right now, you have the key injury to Sir Connor Bedard, who is expected to be out until at least middle January till the end of January. And with that being said, what is this? Let's see, where is this injury? So Connor Bedard got knocked out, and it sucked because it was the very final seconds of the game that was back on Friday, December 12th. And since then, the Blackhawks have gone on a 4-game losing streak, and they will be facing off against the Philadelphia Flyers tonight at the UC. Game starts at 8 o'clock, but I mean, getting shut out against the Detroit Sucks Red Wings 4-0, getting their asses handed to them in the final period of that game on December 16th, losing 3-2 to the Toronto Can't Find a Cup Maple Leafs 3-2. And in heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, another gut punch ending to that game where they gave up the lead in the third period. They were up 2-0, start of the third period, where they lost 3-2 and gave up 2 goals in 8 seconds, losing that one. Got trounced by the Montreal Canadiens 4-1. And then losing 6-4 on this past Saturday to the Ottawa Senators. So you got key players out, Nick Foligno, Connor Bedard. You got the young defensive pairings, the young forwards that, as far as I can discern, don't play a complete 60-minute game. There are key lapses in hustle, in judgment, allowing defenders to get the puck, forwards to get breakaways. And if it wasn't for one Spencer Knight, this could be a lot different of a season. Because without him minding the net, and don't get me wrong, Spencer Knight has not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination either, because he's had his gaffes along the way as well, letting in leaky goals, getting through the pads, or hell, having a bit of bad luck where goals are being scored off of your defenseman, off of skates, off of body parts, or, the last few games, it seems like Spencer Knight has been scoring on himself. Kind of is what it is, but I will be breaking this up on the other side. You're currently listening to Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 7 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Rain-X. Oak Brook police rescued a driver from a car engulfed in flames following a high-speed crash early Sunday morning. Officers spotted the vehicle speeding without lights before it rolled over on eastbound I-88. They used extinguishers and crawled under the overturned car to extricate the driver. The man and two officers suffered minor injuries and were released from the hospital. Police Chief Brian Straucus praised their heroic actions, saying they saved a life. The crash is under investigation and no charges have been announced. President Donald Trump announced 9 major drug makers will lower prescription prices in the U.S. under a new deal. The companies agreed to match prices charged in other developed countries, a move the administration says could save taxpayers and help uninsured patients. NORAD is once again tracking Santa's Christmas Eve journey around the world. The 70-year holiday tradition uses radar, satellites, and jet escorts, with more than 1,000 volunteers answering calls and helping families follow Santa online in 9 languages. Elgin police are investigating an early Sunday morning shooting. Officers were called to Sherman Hospital around 3:20 a.m. after a woman arrived with what appeared to be a graze wound from a gunshot. Police have not yet determined where the shooting occurred, and no other victims have been found. Investigators are asking anyone with information to call 847-289-2600 or text 847-411 with Elgin PD at the beginning of your message. More tip options are available at cityofelgin.org/crime tip. On Cyber Monday, Amazon donated a combined $100,000 to local food banks, including the Northern Illinois Food Bank, helping provide meals to families struggling during the holidays. The donation was presented at Amazon's Chicago facility, where workers continue to fulfill a surge of online orders. Amazon has also hired hundreds of seasonal employees, some of whom may become permanent. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
So Christmas is just around the corner, and if you still have gifts to buy, it's time to get to Macy's Great Gift Sale today. Come in and shop amazing deals on the perfect last-minute gifts, and don't miss the Great Gift Card Giveaway in stores only. Enter for a chance to win a Macy's gift card worth $50, $100, even up to $250. Hurry in. It's all happening at Macy's Great Gift Sale today only. No purchase necessary. See store for details. Official rules at Macys.com/Great Gift Card Giveaway.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Rain-X. Oak Brook police rescued a driver from a car engulfed in flames following a high-speed crash early Sunday morning. Officers spotted the vehicle speeding without lights before it rolled over on eastbound I-88. They used extinguishers and crawled under the overturned car to extricate the driver. The man and two officers suffered minor injuries and were released from the hospital. Police Chief Brian Straucus praised their heroic actions, saying they saved a life. The crash is under investigation and no charges have been announced. President Donald Trump announced 9 major drug makers will lower prescription prices in the U.S. under a new deal. The companies agreed to match prices charged in other developed countries, a move the administration says could save taxpayers and help uninsured patients. NORAD is once again tracking Santa's Christmas Eve journey around the world. The 70-year holiday tradition uses radar, satellites, and jet escorts, with more than 1,000 volunteers answering calls and helping families follow Santa online in 9 languages. Elgin police.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 29. Looking ahead to Wednesday, patchy fog with a slight chance of drizzle in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy with a high near 42. Rain likely Wednesday night with patchy fog. Cloudy with a low around 35. Currently, it is 39 and partly cloudy. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply.
Picture this, you're on a date, and then bad breath happens. Confidence gone. Here's the truth. Most gums and mints are just bad breath Band-Aids, but not Zellman's Minty Mouth. The functional breath freshener you swallow. Tiny dual-action capsules with mint on the outside, parsley seed oil inside, clinically tested to fight the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It's only available online. Go to Zellmans.com, Zelmins, Zellmans.com, code FRESH for 15% off.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back in to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And before I go in it any further, don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning with the WRMN Morning Show. Susie C. and Elliot, the L Train Serrano, will be sending good vibes out to you from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, they are going to be doing it Christmas Eve and Christmas Day as well. So, little morning show present from them to you. Tune in. And of course, since it is also going to be Weird Wednesday, tune in or go to the WRMN Facebook page and check that out to see what Susie C's question of the day is, and it is, what is the weird Christmas present that you've either received or given the fact that it is, Christmas Eve tomorrow. And with that being said, this is a special edition of, currently special edition, other than the special ed right here, that is currently talking and penetrating, hopefully, your ear hole. Derrick Geyer, the stupid one, the STOOPID, and it is Festivus Sports Edition. So if you already tuned into the first hour, you already know that I talked about the Chicago Bulls, the unbelievable Bulls, the Chicago White Sox, the Chicago Blackhawks. That leaves two of the five major teams left. And I think I am going to, you know what? I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Cubs right now. But before I do so, if you're not already online, and I could see by the attendance in the Tube of You chat, please tune in on YouTube. You could see my lovely face there. Go in there. Please like, subscribe, join the WRMN family on YouTube, and that's at WRMN Radio. And then if you feel like calling in and just shooting the Smurf with me here on this Festivus Sports Edition, feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Well, why don't I get to going as far as the Chicago Cubs are concerned? And excuse me, had to stifle a burp there. Yeah. Anyway, a little inside, a little too inside maybe. I don't know. Anyway, yes. So going back 10 years, hard to complain about winning a World Series, especially after a 108-year drought, right? Hard to complain about that. However, you know what the point of winning a World Series is? Or not really the point. I mean, it means that you are the best team in the league, obviously. If you didn't know that, you know, that's what that means. But it also comes with wanting to have like some sort of sustained success. And there was a little bit of sustained success, but it wasn't nearly good enough. Yeah, okay, back to back, you know, so 1, 2, 3, 4 years in a row. So 2015 to 2018, you know, Cubs made the playoffs, won the World Series 2016, happiest, you know, as a clam, happy as a clam. And never thought that I'd see it. Absolutely never, ever thought that I would see it in my days as long as I was walking this third rock from the sun here. But with that being said, now all of a sudden, we're getting passed by. And I mean the Chicago Cubs, are getting passed by. Unable to really capitalize and go all in, you know, like the organization was able to do in that 2016 year. Yes, they got to the playoffs, but wasn't very good. Wasn't very good runs, 2017, 2018. I mean, 2019, starting in 2019, not too good. Made it to the playoffs in 2020 in the COVID shortened season with a 34-26 record. Made it last season, but in what is becoming an increasingly more difficult division, and what used to be the big, ugly, Smurfy St. Louis sucks Cardinals, now all of a sudden it's not Wrigleyville North anymore, because all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, they've been doing it for a while now in the Milwaukee Brewers. And I just can't say Milwaukee Brewers suck or Milwaukee sucks Brewers. I can't, even though I just said it, I don't mean it. I don't have that vitriol hatred of them like I do of the St. Louis Sucks Cardinals. That's been ingrained for years, ever since I was a wee little lad. But what's been going on over the last 5 years? Well, sure as hell couldn't capitalize on that World Series championship that, you know, the Cubs won in 2016. Still very thankful for it. Don't get me, you know, don't get it twisted. But hitting, where's the hitting? The offensive slumps have been pretty bad over the last few years. I believe that there was a point in time where the Chicago Cubs, and I think this was either last year, not last year, but the year before that, 23 or 24, where the Cubs were all but like an 85, 86% chance of making the playoffs. Man, did they peter out. petered out because, well, hitting slumped. It was either all go or no go. And during that time, it was no go. Not to mention when I mean, and this is kind of like why it boggles my mind why there are like, trade rumors swirling around one Nico Horner. His 6.2 WAR, his 297 batting average last season, his Gold Glove defensive abilities, his team leadership that was praised by one Dansby Swanson, his up-the-middle tag team partner and shortstop of the Chicago Cubs. And now all of a sudden, please, for the love of God, this is a guy that should be with the Chicago Cubs for his entire career. I don't understand why. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't really believe why the Cubs would want to trade Nico Horner. Especially if they were to get, one Alex Bregman in, this winter free agency hot stove that's pretty much been lukewarm. If you go ahead and you get Bregman, that means Matt Shaw is displaced. And I already know what the thinking is. Because if you get Matt Shaw, if you get Alex Bregman, he goes to third. What are you going to do with Matt Shaw, who's controllable for the foreseeable future? Oh, I know. You could go ahead and you can move him to second base and then trade Nico Horner for something else because, well, his contract is coming up at the end of the season, along with Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ. You get those monies off the books, but, maybe you could actually get like a valuable, piece or two. But with the amount or the lack of offense, especially after the All-Star break this past year, where Seiya Suzuki had 27 home runs and 77 RBIs at the time of the All-Star break and was just barely able to make 30 home runs. And I believe it was 103 runs batted in the second half or after the All-Star break. PCA struggled the way that he did. Ian Happ struggled the way that he did. Even though, the powers that be for the Chicago Cubs are saying, well, look at the back of their, playing cards. They'll level out. How did that do you in the playoffs? How did you fare in the playoffs this past year? Hey, great. You were able to dispatch of the San Diego Padres. Cool. You took on your rival in the Milwaukee Brewers and got it to Game 5. And who was the dude that was hitting probably the best in both series? Nico Horner. Yeah, he's not the big power bat, right? But man, he sure as hell can slash. And he gets you those base knocks. He gets on base. What more do you want? Oh, you want more power. You want more power, McFly? Come on, guys. Let's be realistic. That's what was wrong in the years following the championship for the Cubs. It was all power and no on base. It's as simple as that, and you need a better mix of it. Go north of the border this year. I know they lost, and they lost in a heartbreaking fashion to the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. But, man, you got a bunch of hitters on the Toronto Blue Jays. Take that as an example of what needs to happen. Now, I'm not saying no power. 330 home run guys. Yes, I'll take it every single season. But when it's as inconsistent can be, it's not a formula for success, especially when you struggle to score more than 3 runs in playoff baseball. It's as simple as that. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And I'll be back on the other side of this short 3-minute break.
Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On Apolitical Talk Show, we break them down, not to destroy, but to understand. Because if you don't see how the system works, you won't see when it's being manipulated or who's benefiting from it. Power belongs to those who know the rules, challenge the loopholes, and demand accountability. That starts with knowledge. That starts here. Join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. as we uncover what's really happening behind the headlines, so you can decide for yourself what's fair, what's broken, and what needs to change. Apolitical Talk Show, breaking down the systems to build them up together. Right here, weekdays 4 to 6 on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
WRMN's Fantasy Football Blitz, live Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Live on YouTube/WRMN. Get the hard-hitting facts and statistics to help ignite your team into the fantasy playoffs. Don't set your roster until you've listened to the experts on WRMN's Fantasy Football Blitz.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. I'm your host, Derrick Geyer, and this is the festivus edition of Big Top Sports with Christmas Eve and Christmas being right around the corner. Matter of fact, hours away from Christmas Eve. About a day and, we'll call it 4.5 plus hours from Christmas Day. So I can do math. I know how time works. And continuing talking about the Chicago Cubs, and, well, I'm gonna come out and say it as a Chicago Cubs fan. You know, I got my hat on. I took a little bit of Smurf, you know, when I was working with, you know, some guys over the weekend, and not particularly, being a fan of the Cubs, I should say, but that's okay. I'll get into that at a later time and date. But right now, I mean, what are the Chicago Cubs doing in the offseason? Well, it surely looks like they are trying to bolster their bullpen. They bring back Caleb Thielbar. They bring Tyler Austin back, a left-handed first baseman. Don't even get me started on that. They add reliever Jacob Webb. They sign Christian Bethancourt to a minor league deal, or bring back. And then, of course, there was the, in my opinion, the ill-advised signing of Shota Imanaga on that qualifying offer that basically gave him a 50% raise, even though he sucked down the line or after the All-Star break. You know, you've heard me talk about him giving up 20 home runs post All-Star break, and then not even pitching in one of the most important games that the Chicago Cubs had last season. Oh yeah, that game 5, you know, winner take all game against the Milwaukee Brewers. Cubs end up signing Phil Maton, and they also, so it's just, Hobie Milner. And you know what all this adds to it? Is that the Chicago Cubs and their farm system basically went from, you know, power arms down to the dregs in velocity, you know, this offseason. And for a team and for management that has been saying, you know, they want the bullets, they want the shooters, and they ain't getting it. I don't know. And the thing that, like, you know, kind of astounds me about the Tyler Austin deal, and it is a 1-year deal, but he's a left-handed hitting first baseman that can supposedly hit, at least let me look it up real quick before I completely and totally go off the rails. And okay, Tyler Austin. So, yeah, Tyler Austin. Cubs suddenly become trade bait after Tyler Austin, blah, 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 signing Tyler Austin. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where Michael Busch was probably one of your most consistent hitters for the Cubs. Best power that the Cubs had as well throughout the season for the Chicago Cubs. And now you're bringing in some guy to potentially platoon with them. Again, I don't know if this is a recipe for success or if this is just more of the same as far as Craig Counsell and management from the Chicago Cubs are concerned. Because you need him to hit. You need to see if he can hit lefties. Best bet all season. I don't know. But this is Big Top Sports, Festivus Sports Edition, here on WRMN 1410 AM. We will be back in a moment or three.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Hot Hands. On Cyber Monday, Amazon donated a combined $100,000 to local food banks, including the Northern Illinois Food Bank, helping provide meals to families struggling during the holidays. The donation was presented at Amazon's Chicago facility, where workers continue to fulfill a surge of online orders. Amazon has also hired hundreds of seasonal employees, some of whom may become permanent. Oak Brook Police rescued a driver from a car engulfed in flames following a high-speed crash early Sunday morning. Officers spotted the vehicle speeding without lights before it rolled over on eastbound I-88. They used extinguishers and crawled under the overturned car to extricate the driver. The man and two officers suffered minor injuries and were released from the hospital. Police Chief Brian Straucus praised their heroic actions, saying they saved a life. The crash is under investigation and no charges have been announced. President Donald Trump announced 9 major drug makers will lower prescription prices in the U.S. under a new deal. The companies agreed to match prices charged in other developed countries, a move the administration says could save taxpayers and help uninsured patients. NORAD is once again tracking Santa's Christmas Eve journey around the world. The 70-year holiday tradition uses radar, satellites, and jet escorts, with more than 1,000 volunteers answering calls and helping families follow Santa online in 9 languages. Elgin police are investigating an early Sunday morning shooting. Officers were called to Sherman Hospital around 3:20 a.m. after a woman arrived with what appeared to be a graze wound from a gunshot. Police have not yet determined where the shooting occurred, and no other victims have been found. Investigators are asking anyone with information to call 847-289-2600 or text 847-411 with Elgin PD at the beginning of your message. More tip options are available at cityofelgin.org/crime tip. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wines and beers all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Price so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM.
Does your car need a shine? At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they make it quick, easy, and spotless every time. And they're open 24/7 for your convenience. Right now, get a free car wash just for joining their text club. Text BRITT to 30400 and enjoy a free car wash. Visit Britain's Touchless Car Wash at 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin or at 555 Willow in West Dundee. Britain's, caring for your car while caring for our community.
This is Will Walker with your Fox Valley forecast. Brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 29. Currently, it is 38 with clear skies. Looking ahead to Wednesday, patchy fog with a chance of rain and drizzle. Mostly cloudy with a high near 42. Rain likely Wednesday night with patchy fog and a low around 35. Winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. With your Fox Valley forecast, I'm Will Walker on WRMN, the talk of the town.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
your thrilling ride. Top Sports, feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high, baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. We are doing Big Top Sports Festivus edition. I think I've had one top of the hour, one bottom of the hour, another top, another bottom, and I've said it 4 different ways, but that is all right. The squirrels are running the asylum between my ears right now, and we've already knocked out 4 out of the 5 major teams in Chicagoland. Took care of the Bulls, the Unbelievables, Chicago Blackhawks, Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs. For the love of God, Cubs, please make a signing. Please do something, but not get rid of Nico Horner. I'm begging you. Okay, enough of that Smurf. But talking Chicago Bears, this final half hour of Big Top Sports, or Festivus Sports here on Big Top Sports. And my goodness, I mean, I know that the Chicago Bears record has been absolutely putrid over the last 10 years. It is 2025, going back 10 years, and 4th in the NFC, 4th in the NFC, 4th in the NFC. Holy Smurf, 1st in the NFC. Oh, yeah, that was Matt Nagy's first year with the Chicago Bears. You know, the wunderkind that, supposedly was going to lead the Chicago Bears and Chicagoland and all the fans and everything to the promised lands. And, well, at least he got the Chicago Bears to the playoffs in 2 of 4 years. I mean, they didn't win a game, but at least they got them to the dance. It's a lot better than I could say for, I mean, you're talking Lovie Smith, you know, in that 2010 season, lost in the conference game, lost the Super Bowl in 2006. My goodness, 2006. It's already going to be 20 years since the last time the Chicago Bears have been in the GD Super Bowl. Oh, I digress. But you're talking about absolutely horrible records. You're talking about absolute dog Smurf coaches. I sorry, there's no way of sugarcoating it, really. I mean, Lovie Smith. From Lovie Smith, you went to Mark Trestman. From Mark Trestman, you went to John Fox. Oh, man, I'm looking at those John Fox years. 6-10, 3-13, 5-11. Matt Nagy, salary cap hell. 12-4 that first year, 8-8 the next 2 years. And then 6-11, his final season with the Chicago Bears before they decided to kick his ass out the door. Oh, brutal. Absolutely freaking brutal. And you're only talking 2 playoff berths in the last 10 years. However, I know this is Festivus Sports Edition here on Big Top Sports, WRMN, 1410 AM. And it is just nice to see that things are a-changing. The positivity that has gripped the Chicagoland area and the Bears, and the belief and the camaraderie that is taking place surrounding the Chicago Bears. The new culture, if you will. I know that's been bantied about quite a bit. Been hearing that since the Matt Nagy era, 2018. Didn't really pan out to a Smurf, did it? No, not at all. You kind of heard that saying, culture. Oh my God, you heard it ad nauseum with Matt Eberflus. Matt never wins. I mean, that's not true. He won a total of 16 games. Well, maybe a little bit more than that, but we'll say 18 games in 4 seasons. And if I'm not mistaken, we've been playing 17 games since 2021. Ooh, that is an absolute putrid record. Hey, congratulations, Dallas Cowboys, for signing Matt Eberflus as your defensive coordinator. Not exactly sure what you were expecting there. Oh, yeah. The reason why he's so putrid is maybe because you gave away your best pass rusher, best potential player in Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Sucks Packers, or the Green Bay Woodpeckers, or just the Green Bay Peckers. Woodpeckers, Peckers, Packers. Anyway, any hootie. I mean, so you're kind of to blame on yourself when you get rid of your best player there, Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys, right before the season starts, when all of a sudden it's like, hey, you got this you got the best defensive player or defensive line player on your team in the whole of the NFL. And because you're too pig-headed and too stubborn to actually sign the guy to what he's worth. Well, he ain't worth much now because, I mean, torn ACL out the rest of the season, probably won't be coming back until the middle of next season. But Micah Parsons is a beast. He is a freak, so he'll get to training. But I digress. I mean, when you take away one of your best players on the defensive side of the ball that is supposed to rush and sack and kill and destroy and maim the offensive side of the ball, and you get rid of them, yeah, you kind of you are reaping what you are sowing over there in Jerry world. Not necessarily Matt Eberflus's fault, but I mean, some of his defensive scheming hasn't necessarily been the brightest, shall we say. And I think it was a testament to the Bears last season, even though they had that god-awful 5-12 record. But whatever. I think the players were playing for themselves and playing for the team at large, not so much the coaching staff. But I digress, because something happened last season that hasn't happened ever for the Chicago Bears, and that is getting rid of a head coach that was absolutely putrid for as long as he was. But hey, thank you for getting those high draft picks for us. Thank you for getting Caleb Williams. Thank you for getting Rome Odunze. Thank you for finally, contributing in a roundabout way. And thank you for, actually putting together a team that is definitely beaten all odds this season. Coming from behind in 6 games, winning those 6 games, never quitting in those 6 games, securing a playoff spot, something that has been lacking the last 4 years. It has been a stupendous, quick turnaround for the Chicago Bears. Now I hear people talking about that word, you know, the final game, if you will, of the season, you know, where the 2 best teams in the league go up against one another and they come away with that silver, shiny, football-like trophy, the Lombardi. I hear people say that there is a chance for them to make it to that final game of the season. Hell, you know what? Let's take care, or as a Bears fan, and as someone that's been wishy-washy on the Chicago Bears all season, and hey, I've got absolutely no problem saying that, even with their record being what it is right now, 11-4. Even with their record being at 11-4, I am still wishy-washy because I have absolutely no idea what version of the defense is going to be. Whether or not you're going to have running backs from the other side plowing through that defensive line. Whether you have the linebackers coming up and making or trying to make arm tackles and they scamper away. While you have a ball hawk secondary and the Bears are doing very well in the turnover battle and margins and have gotten 30 on this year, which is pretty damn good, right? But those are only 30 plays in a game, spread out over 15 weeks. 30 plays over 15 weeks. Yes, it has helped them win. Yes, they've got a good turnover to takeaway margin. They have points. I believe they're second or third in the league as far as points scored on those turnovers or takeaways. All awesome things. But yet, in the couple of games that they got trounced or lost, they lost the turnover battle. Now, I know it's only, 3 games, but at the same time, and 4 total on the year. But with that being said, it's feast or famine as far as that's concerned. What some of the bright spots are, the offensive line has been dominant. Bully ball. Absolutely awesome. And I hearken back to my days. Back in my day, when I was playing football and I was able to move one guy 10 or 15 feet and then pancake block him, that was awesome. Listen, I make no illusions about it, but hearing the monsters, and when I say the monsters, you're talking about the offensive and defensive linemen talking and how it is an absolute joy to bend another person to his will and just kicking the absolute smurf out of him and doing it repeatedly. Out of my high school career, I think I only had like 1 or 2 games where it was like I was absolutely dominant, which is probably why I only played, 2 seasons of high school ball and didn't go to the next level. I digress, though. But that's exactly what the offensive line is doing for the Chicago Bears. And because of that, and if you did not know, the Bears have a few guys that have been named to the Pro Bowl. And very much deserved. You've got the likes of safety Kevin Byard III, who is currently leading the league with 6 interceptions, leading the team in takeaways this year. Or actually, I'm sorry. He's got 6 interceptions. He's leading the team in takeaways, not interceptions. I'm sorry. You've got the free agent guard, Joe Tooney, who has made an absolute difference in keeping Caleb Williams upright this season, along with center Drew Dahlman, who is leading all of the NFC centers in fan votes as far as, going to the Pro Bowl. It has been a good year for that. Caleb Williams has been on his feet more. He's been passing, dropping dimes. I mean, DJ Moore's touchdown to beat the Green Bay Woodpeckers this past Saturday night. Doesn't get any sweeter than that. That beautiful touch pass that he threw to Jade Walker in the corner of the end zone to tie the game up against the Green Bay Woodpeckers. Awesome. You know who I would have liked to have also seen in the Pro Bowl and getting some love? I mean, I don't understand how he couldn't be, but Nahshon Wright, he didn't get any love. He may or may not, get in if players aren't going to be making it to the game, making it, to the Pro Bowl game or whatever, the Pro Bowl Olympics or the Pro Bowl, I don't even know what you want to call it. Just for the simple fact that, well, it's not a football game anymore. Maybe flag football. I'm not even sure. But even with that being said, Nahshon Wright, who's also in the top discussion for takeaways this season, man, he came out of nowhere. He has had one hell of a season, and he gets snubbed. Not cool, but I mean, it is what it is. And one of the things that has been very cool is because, or you already know this, as a Chicago Bears football fan, when the Bears are going good, it is electric in Chicago, the Chicagoland area, surrounding area. And this is no exception. This is the norm. This is why the Bears run this city. So, but in order to get to that final game of the season, I really, truly think the Bears need to win out the rest of the season. They're 11-4. They have a chance to go. They are already in the dance. They have a chance of getting a higher seed. With a little help. Seattle needs to lose. Seattle Seahawks need to lose. Los Angeles Rams need to lose. But with that being said, if the Green Bay Woodpeckers win this weekend against a potentially Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore Ravens team, guess what? Guess who's coming back to dinner? Now, we've already split, the Chicago Bears have already split the season matchup against the Green Bay Woodpeckers 1-1, right? We already know that. Played 2 times in three games. But if things are going to stay the way that they are, ooh, doggy. Oh, man. You know what that means, right? That means that the Green Bay Packers are going to be coming to Soldier Field for the second time this season, and it is going to be in the first round of the wild card playoffs. It is going, I mean, that game, that start of Saturday's game, and the fracas and the almost brawl that there was. And you're talking about emotions on the Bears side being jacked up to like an 11 out of 10. Man, can you just imagine what the emotions and that level of ferocity and veracity is going to be if the Chicago Bears take on the Green Bay Packers in the first round of the playoffs, the wild card weekend? Holy smurf. Put the women and children to bed and go hunting for dinner, because it is going to be search and destroy, seek and destroy, and and oh my goodness. This is why the Bears need to take care of business against the San Francisco 49ers this weekend on Sunday Night Football. And then take care of business against the Detroit Lions the following week to wrap up the regular season. Oh. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in on Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM. I've been your host, Derrick Geyer. I want everyone out there listening to my voice right now, and thank you for the Christmas wishes on WRMN radio at YouTube or on the YouTube feed. I wish everyone out there a Merry Christmas. Have a great time with family, friends, or however it is that you are going to be doing it and celebrating. If you are going to drink, don't drive. There will be Uber drivers out there. Just play it smart, everyone. Drinking and driving hurts everyone. And then don't forget, tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 a.m., it is the WRMN Morning Show, bringing some Christmas jovialness to you and yours. And that is Susie C. and Elliot, the L Train Serrano. Have a great rest of your week and Merry Christmas.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Chicagoland? Need trusted legal help with real estate, evictions, or estate planning? Turn to Guthrie & Brady, the happy lawyers serving the greater Chicago area since 1965. With over 50 years of experience, they handle titles and deeds, foreclosures, landlord-tenant issues, wills, trusts, and more. Appointments available evenings or weekends at their